think I'm still getting 60 FPS, so I think we're Gucci.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
But you're paying attention to chat. If they start flipping out, then you just let me know.
Down that team fight potential.
Yeah, I generally, whenever I'm looking at, I suppose, lower tier teams, I favor the ones that have easier execution, like the ones that you don't have to really rely on, oh, we need to get like this and this timing, we need to hit this and this item timing, we need to take these and these objectives. And that's kind of what Nova is. Whenever you have a Terrorblade, the entire game revolves around making this Terrorblade as safe as possible and as enabled as possible. Whereas for CyberTRARTOR, I mean, they've got like so many stuns, they've got so many like tanky heroes with the Axe and the Kunkka that to me it seems like it's going to be much easier for CyberTRARTOR to get the win.
Just a lot of ease of execution, beefy old front line, the old college strat.
That's all it takes.
Trust me, it definitely is, as we do get laning underway. I saw Kyle just saying that I'm fired. In the chat.
For what?
Pretty used to this at this point. Not too big of a deal at all. I actually, dude, the only reason that I needed to get on the broadcast is because every time I talk in the WePlay chat, they keep banning me. They keep saying that I'm trying to initiate chat spam, which I would never do. Like, what would I do? Farm an emote? Would I say "ay so everybody in the chat would spam it?
You would never do that.
I would never do that. I would never farm emotes.
Okay, so here's another quick observing tip. So I know you're looking at those people who just took the outpost, right? You're following Axe around.
Whoa, how do you know where I am?
How do I know where you are? Okay, so if you look at the minimap, you see your little green outline where you're looking. Yeah. But the little yellow outline is where I'm looking. So can you find my little yellow outline underneath the bot Radiant Tier 1? Look at the minimap. You're looking at the minimap?
I'm looking for you.
I feel like you're looking at the screen share that I'm doing. Okay, there you go. Yeah, you found me. Now where am I looking?
I actually can't see your,
God damn it, Rich.
The battle
you're kind of getting the hang of it. Whatever. You can rely on the screen share. We'll stumble our way through this together, because you know I'm not much of an observer myself, so we're both learning on the job right now.
Cheers. Been doing a few other things on the job as well as we jump on into this game. Anything really important that you're looking for in the laning phase, though? Obviously, you talked about some of the things that you really do want to see as far as making sure that you see timings on the side of CyberTRARTOR with that TB and getting it online. But is there anything particularly important in the laning phase? Anybody that needs to do well to secure a good game?
I would say a lot is probably going to be on this mid lane matchup between the and these are both heroes that can snowball quite a bit, and definitely losing some packets. Okay, I'm going to turn off the screen share. You're just
totally fine.
Do this by yourself.
Totally fine. And as you can see right now, I mean, Queen of Pain already starting off pretty well here in that mid lane. But I don't know how to follow you. That's the only thing that's a little bit weird.
That's fine. You don't need to follow me, Rich. I have faith that you are independently knowledgeable, that you know what to talk about yourself. Just have a little confidence in yourself.
You see the shirt I'm wearing? I have no confidence. It's all a facade.
What are you talking about? The shirt implies even more confidence that you're willing to show so much skin.
Yeah, but you couldn't see. I taped my nipples under it. That's how scared I am. You know, everybody's making mistakes now. Stuff's falling out on stream. You never know what's going to happen.
You never know. It's okay. Just talk about the lanes. That's what usually casters do. Like, Arrow connects onto the Enchantress in the bot lane. Keep an eye on this Enchantress. You see her?
Yeah, I'm looking at the Enchantress.
She's taking some damage, but it's all good. She's got Nature's Attendance. The Axe, Polkovnik has just been cutting waves with the Mirana, but it's all good for the Terrorblade. You know, some heroes kind of suffer under these creep-cutting tactics, as we actually go through the top lane, and I catch first blood successfully. Pijon kills Khazar, and Locust might actually go next.
God! Yeah, you see the pressure coming out onto the Maresca as well. Mars trying to make the best of this situation, not going to be able to close the gap as we do see CyberTRARTOR manage to get things off to a pretty good start. A trade does happen, but let's see what they're able to do with this first blood.
No, you don't.
Yeah, first blood ends up going the way of the Mars, so we'll see if Grimstroke or Dark Willow ends up bringing up a Mango and a Ring of Regen for Pigeon, as she had just come back from base. So yeah, this Mars is in pretty good shape. Meanwhile, another Inkswell onto Lopez. Dark Willow.
Yeah, Dark Willow in a pretty bad spot, and then we do see Savage manage to take out that Enchantress.
There's more. The top lane, Pigeon does finish off Retsu, so this Mars is just balling out of control right now. Has the spear up in 1 second, but nothing to connect KZR to. And yeah, bot lane, that Mirana ends up killing the Enchantress. Tell me what happened there, because I wasn't able to catch it.
I like jumped down very quickly to try to see the aftermath, but my attention was definitely on the top lane as well. Just trying to see what the Mars was going to be able to do. Like you said, yeah, Mars definitely starting to ball out. You said Mars might be one of the key factors that they do need to initiate.
Is under attack.
But man, yo, wait, this is actually crazy.
I'm telling you,
You guys have
intensity.
wait, you guys have so many graphs and stuff.
I know. Look, you press F6 and already things are popping off all over the place.
Dude, I'm looking at the CS right now. I always thought you guys were so smart. You guys are just reading.
Whoa. Let's not take some of the credit away. There's a lot of brain power that goes into reading numbers, all right? Like, what does the 28 and what does the 31 and 0 next to X even mean, Rich? What does it even mean?
It means he's a pumper. He's got the best CS in the game right now. Look at him right now. Yeah, it's so easy. You can see once again he's going to be able to connect to that Grimstroke, keeping that pressure going and just dominating this top lane.
Yeah, Mars is a force to be reckoned with. Maybe Dark Willow is a better support. Maybe people are sleeping on the girl.
Whoa, slow down there. I'm still keeping my eye on this Mars, seeing if he's going to try to connect with one of those Spears of Mars. And like you said, Dark Willow is going to be back in the lane to give a little bit of help. But what are you really looking at here for the Mars to do? It seems like in this early portion of the laning phase, we're seeing him be quite dominant. But you talked a lot about that mid matchup, about that Kunkka, about that Queen of Pain. What's been the story of the mid thus far?
It's pretty even thus far, which is kind of, it may lean into what Mars chooses to build. As we see the first 5-minute opening for the bounty runes, as it does look like it's going to go heavily in the favor of CyberTRARTOR, as they're going to pick up 3 and possibly 4 of them. But yeah, so the mid lane matchup is going quite even, so I imagine no one needs to really plan for a snowball build or plan for a recovery build, as Metamorphosis is going to get activated on the bot lane. They're going on the Axe, Rich.
Yeah, you can see them going on the Axe. It doesn't look like they're going to actually be able to close on him to get that kill, but you can see the Enchantress still going for a little bit of the walk. Queen of Pain coming in as well, but it looks like the Axe should be fine and free.
He shows himself on the wave.
Yeah, he shows himself on the wave, and just like that, the Queen of Pain's going to be able to come in here and finish the work.
Are fortified. That was
a little bit greedy. He wasn't expecting the Queen of Pain to rotate that much, but she was off the map for a little bit. Figured that.
Hey, I'm obviously a reckless noob here. I'm just coming in for the lulz, coming in for the fun. But he should have been able to get out of there fine. Why does he actually show himself on that wave?
It's a good question. And Queen of Pain actually narrowly manages to get out of the mid lane. See, that's how you're supposed to be playing this, to the razor's edge. She's going to pick up a DD rune even, but with Blink only having 1 skill point, not really going to be able to do too much. Trying to harass Babruha.
Bottom tower is under attack.
And he's going to let him go. Yeah, the Axe showing himself was definitely greedy. It all comes down to the fact that he wasn't expecting the Queen of Pain to rotate. And then the fact that he started channeling the TP was super optimistic, because there's no way that Lorenov would not be willing to commit his Sonic Wave ultimate to finish off that Axe.
Definitely an early mistake coming out there. But as you can see, man, dude, this is actually wild. I'm like learning all these hotkeys and stuff. I feel like JJ right now.
Oh, dude, okay, I can give you another one. So if you press F2, you'll only see what the Dire see. This is a JJ special. He loves showing vision at appropriate moments. So that's only Radiant Vision. And if you press F3, you'll only see Dire Vision.
And then F1 puts it back to normal?
You're a natural, Rich.
Oh, wow. so many
You're gonna take my job. You're gonna take JJ's job. You're gonna take all of our jobs.
I don't think I'm taking any jobs. This is more buttons than I've ever pushed in my entire life.
But you're a WoW player. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you literally press one button and win. But right now, speaking of winning, I'm going back up to that top lane. Has the story changed much? The Mars was obviously popping off at the very beginning. Game's definitely still pretty even at this point. And also, CS, he's starting to lack in that department just a little bit.
He is. That's a good call. Yeah, despite having such a good lead early on, I think he's been trying to put more focus on getting kills and hasn't really been able to shut down the Phantom Assassin. I don't think Phantom Assassin's been jungling very much, so her having 41 last hits is pretty impressive, given the fact that the Mars has been doing so well. Double Wraithband boots. They look like they may want to get a little bit aggressive onto the Mars, but he's an extremely tanky target. Right. Instead,
definitely
mid-lane,
a decent amount of beef there.
attempted combo on the Queen of Pain. Misses again, and Loranov has now survived 2 torrent boat combinations from the Kunkka, which, I mean, this is the hardest part for a Queen of Pain. Like I said, her blink, I'm sure you'll be able to see it soon enough. Whenever she gets X'd by the Kunkka, no matter how far away you get from that, the X will always bring you back into the combination. Torrent, the boat, and potentially even the arrow from Mirage. Nice, nice. People love a good silence twitch. It adds to the atmosphere. Enchantress, bot lane gets comboed by everything.
You get nothing. Good day, sir.
Well, you're really adding on to the atmosphere. Did you disconnect?
Yeah, I think it's
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant are scanning.
definitely caught me there for a
Dire's
second.
top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Rich, here's my tip.
Yeah.
Just pick any lane, and that's just gonna be the lane that you really lean in on. That's the one that you're saying, like, this is gonna be the game-winning lane. As they're actually taking
Lean
the
in on
outpost
one
before
lane,
taking-
couldn't be me, but the outpost is going to be taking. You see the
There we
Mars
go.
and the Dark Willow able to do that.
Radiant's
Swing
bottom
back around to the top lane because I can actually see now, and it looks like they're going to be able to potentially take this tower as well. So right now, what are they waiting for? Why do they not go for this tower at this moment?
So the 10-minute thing was definitely because of the outposts. They wanted to see if Dire were going to challenge that outpost. Now that it's pretty obvious that they're not, even space on the Terrorblade shows up here, so 4 heroes dedicating to this top lane. Meanwhile, mid lane, though, Enchantress is solo trying to defend this, and yet again, another Torrent boat combination, not going to get the kill. Pigeon has the arena available, but it's just him and the Enchantress. Now the Dark Willow shows up, but she's not level 6 yet.
Radiant's
So,
bottom tower is
able to
under
defend the
attack.
mid lane, able to successfully take the top tier 1 tower. Nova are looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, and also you talked about Mars being that initiator. When are we actually going to start seeing those big plays start to come online? When are they going to be looking for those big team fights around the arena? As we have seen, the Mars has moved into the mid lane here, trying to close a little bit of space on that Kunkka. But we got Grimstroke and Mirana hanging out in that mid lane as well.
My guess would be if he decides to go for a Blink Dagger, you'll see it right after the Blink Dagger comes out, as the arrow does connect on him, but they're not going to be able to get a kill. Yeah, so I'm curious what his item build is going to be. He doesn't have anything in his quick buy, which is another caster industry secret. So let's click on the Terrorblade, right? You're on the Terrorblade, Rich?
Yeah, I was on Dark Willow, but I'll look at the Terrorblade.
I imagine you were. Okay, fine. We can talk about Dark Willow actually. See,
Nah, I'm looking at the Terrorblade now. You're driving the ship. He's hanging out. He's getting free farm. Easy game.
So, can you tell me what item he's planning on buying? And like, you know, I'm not a mind reader. None of the casters are mind readers. We're really dumb. But I can already tell you what his item is.
He's getting the Yasha, baby.
He's getting the Yasha. There you go.
You know why I know that?
Why do you know that?
Because I paid attention to the first grade and I can read, and that's all you casters do. As we see, just free farm for the Terrorblade all day long.
just that easy. Okay, we got to
It
smoke
actually,
up.
it actually is. You just have to learn how to read fast. I haven't read in years. The only thing that I read is emotes and chat. But it looks like we are finally going to see that big Mars combo come out. Going to be able to trap in that Grimstroke, looking for the kill there. But it is going to be Nova who's going to lose that quap first, and then the Grimstroke going to go down. Are they going to keep on pushing? Are they going to look for more? As we do see that Axe come on into the fight. A lot of pressure going out to the Mars. They're going to be able to shut him down as they try to follow in on the Enchantress as well.
It's not done yet. The Dark Willow gets caught as well. She puts down the root. She puts down the stun. She's going to get sniped off by that last arrow. Terrorblade activates the Metamorphosis. Will she die? Sliced.
Oh, Nani! Sliced on up. Oh man, the chat lines are so sexy. I love this game.
That went well, I think, says the Phantom Assassin, and I can't disagree. A resoundingly confident team fight won by CyberTRARTOR over that mid lane.
I mean, here's the thing. I think this is exactly what you said, and I'm pretty much only going to repeat things that you say throughout the entirety of this cast. But right as we got on down to business, you said they got ease of execution. They have this really tanky lineup. Yeah, you can go in for these big plays. You can try to set up those big combos around the arena, but ultimately when the whole team does rotate on in on the side of Tractor, it looks like they're going to be able to do work. Does anything potentially change that? I know you talk about things going on with the TB, trying to build things like the Asha. Is that going to be enough to change the tide of this?
Well, if they catch out the Phantom Assassin in bot lane like they might right now with the arena, into the spear, yeah, she is dead. But it's just one kill, so nothing too dramatic, and that was a smoke as well from the Radiant. So part of the reason why the fight may have gone so well for CyberTRARTOR is that was Polkovnik's Blink Dagger reveal on the Axe. And so these item timings, obviously big spikes, you don't expect an Axe to jump in, get the taunt off, and be as tanky as he is with the hood as well. And so that's a definitely important timing. Meanwhile, on the side of Nova, it does look like Pijon will be pursuing the Blink Dagger of his own on the Mars. And so it'll go back and forth as these initiators get their items online. But it definitely seems like Axe has the upper hand right now.
He's farmed as heck, too. He's second most net worth in the game. But looking at bottom lane, yeah, Enchantress going to get jumped upon, just like we've seen countless times in Dota 2 Smut.
Yeah, countless times. Too many times.
How do you think I got ready for this one? I'm trying to save the good content for later. But speaking of good content, once again, the beefy boy of the Axe is going to be able to jump on top of. Oh man, mine's in the wrong place. But eating ships and dying as we see the whole team come on over to mid. 3 of them going to be able to grab another kill. Dark Willow going to try to move away, and TB still just farming in the jungle.
Ease of execution. They were able to initiate with the Axe, get that blink off, and wait, actually, did they have any neutral items, right? Was that the first tier 2? Yeah, so he gets the blink, easy initial pick onto the Queen of Pain, then immediately the silence afterwards from the Grimstroke, and then the X Torrent into the boat from Kunkka. It's just,
I have a question.
It's just too easy. Hit me, Rich.
I have a question. So, is there like a thing? Oh, I think I found it. But I wanted to. Oh, if I hit F5, I can see everybody's builds.
Correct.
But if I want to see items, I actually have to go. Like, there's not like one place where I can just see everybody's like inventory all at once.
That is. Oh, okay. Okay. So if you press F5, you see the bottom right button on the scoreboard. It says
the show items.
Click it.
Oh my god, this is insane. I feel like a day trader, man.
This is a Bloomberg portal that you're looking at right now. Initiation.
Dude, this is actually the wildest stuff ever. This is really cool. I've obviously never done this before. I'm blown away. I feel like a day trader that I have no idea what day traders do. Stonks, all pump, no dump, but the Stonks definitely rising here still for TB. TB's just basically been kind of in his own world farming. When do we expect to see TB be farmed enough to actually start making big things happen?
So he's going for the Sage and Yasha as his first item. Sometimes you'll see other things like a Mantis tile earlier if the TB wants to fight earlier. Sage and Yasha is more like a I want to stay alive kind of thing as the arena comes out but whiffs as the Phantom Assassin just blinks onto one of her allies. So that's a wasted ultimate from Pigeon. Now you see the importance of needing that Blink Dagger.
I love this too, though. They see that whiff and they say, okay, we smell the blood in the water. Let's try to convert this into something. They're going to be able to convert it onto a kill on the map, or are they going to be able to get some work done as well, creating any pressure onto any of these objectives? Still roaming around the map, potentially looking for another kill as well, is going to be the boys of Dire.
Yeah, so far they're just bullying this Enchantress, which, I mean, she's very, very low on the net worth, as I'm sure you've probably pressed Y at this point, right? Rich, you're gone to the net worth?
I did it at exactly 10 minutes.
Oh, I can't believe that you've learned so
I was looking at the CS, and then I go, you know what? It's 10 minutes. I'm going to look at the net worth. I'm looking at the graphs. I'm looking at the stonks, and I'm watching Enchantress fall over and over again at my feet. Enchantress literally has less gold than... I mean, I actually can't make that joke.
Dire's bottom tower.
Then your bank account.
I always make it back. I always make it back. It does not matter. Well, you talked about Ench falling slightly out of favor. Are we starting to see some of those weakness come to fruition here in this map?
Definitely. I mean, in the laning phase, it wasn't as bad as I was expecting, but you're seeing what happens whenever she's paired up against a high magic damage team. Right now, her untouchable passive is not really being able to do very much. Phantom Assassin with the dagger still does plenty of damage to her. She's not really healing fast enough with Nature's Attendance. Now she's X'd. Not again! Not again, Rich!
Yeah, but it's just one of these things, too, as we see her get knocked up, slapped down, taken out without too much of a problem by 4 over on Dire. I was actually looking up in the top lane for a little bit, and it just all goes back to what you're saying. I mean, pulling off these combos is going to be really difficult on the side of Nova. Even looking at the Dark Willow, like hitting a couple of brambles every now and then, but there's just no real way to follow up, no real way to convert it into anything as we start seeing the boys on Tractor starting to plow the field if Nova's the field.
Oh, that's good. That's good, Rich.
They're farming Nova because they're tractors, which is a piece of farming equipment, plowing them.
You a farm boy, Rich, or you a city boy?
They've planted the seeds of victory, Neil, inside of my heart. I feel like a babe in the big city.
Your admiral is on board.
One pig against the world.
Any oinkers in the chat? This one's looking like it's starting to get pretty out of control, though, as we do see that 4K lead going over onto the side of Tractor. And is this also, when you talk about a big, beefy boy lineup, this gotchi lineup that you do have coming out in front, if that pulls ahead, is it a thing that can snowball?
Yeah, you gotta have your hands up against a lineup like this, because even with an aggressive smoke coming out from Radiant, actually they do have the Blink Dagger now on Mars, so hopefully that will make it a little bit easier to land these arenas. As the Terrorblade activates Metamorphosis, starts hammering on this mid-tier 1, but the rest of Dire was looking for a pick. They're gonna need to come back to defend now. And Radiant are kind of scared. It is now daytime, so they'll have a little bit more vision. It doesn't look like Dire are going to be able to come back in time to defend this. In fact, Kunkka almost gets caught out as he starts channeling that TP scroll, but he cancels it wisely. And overall, Nova are, I imagine, somewhat satisfied with that. They were able to take a tower, but they were hoping for more. This was going to be the Blink Dagger reveal of the arena with the Mars. They activated Metamorphosis, extremely high cooldown on that Terrorblade. You really want to be able to get more than just a tier 1 tower out of that.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of been the story, right? Every time that we have seen those big combos, we saw one whiff, we saw a few opportunities where it was like, okay, this was the combo that we're talking about. They're not able to do that much with it, and really at the beginning of the game, the Mars was looking good, and as we see these boys get beefier and beefier, it's getting harder and harder. Somebody in chat said, Rich only knows how to read chat. Very good point, guys. If you actually want to tell me what to say, just please type it out. It's going to be nice and easy for me if you just tell me exactly what to say. I've been relying on you my entire career. That does not need to change now, as I do this favor for Kyle that I regret more and more with every second as I learn more and more hotkeys and have to read more and more things, and my brain slowly turns into a pile of goo during this pause, my heart rate increasing with every single second, and my blood flowing to strange places due to Maresca being locked in on this map. Hands sweaty, knees weak, arms heavy. Please start this back up! How long are they allowed to pause for?
Quite a while, actually. This is a brave new world of primarily online Dota, as we all at home right now. You know, can't go to LANs, can't be physically present, so you gotta have a little bit more leeway. You know, internet troubles. Sometimes your mom walks in, she's like, "What are you doing?" And you're like, "I'm playing video games."
I told you, not in my room. Yeah. I've been there before. Definitely been there. As we do get this one back up and started. What are we actually looking for Dire to do right now? Relatively grouped up on the top side of the map. Do you call it that? Do you ever call it the top side of the map?
Yeah, you can say that. You can say top side of the map. Dire jungle is also the common geographic reference for this. Meanwhile, the bottom half of the map.
See, I'm not good with geographic stuff. I usually keep it geographically ambiguous, like Mareska Sama. As we do see this game start to... It's getting really easy for me to watch. Thank you so much for teaching me, Neil. Wait, you switched the camera to us during the pause? You should have warned me, dude.
It's under attack.
Listen, I would never do anything to make you look bad. All of it's in an effort to make you look even more charming than you already are.
You wouldn't. Kyle would when he asked me to cast a match. But we can see...
Can't see as well.
There it is.
The Mars.
And we're going to actually see that initiation come out. Going to be able to catch out the Grimstroke. Will they be able to convert on the Axe? And like you said, the Axe is just looking so strong. Axe can just tank that damage over and over again. Now he's pummeling in on the Mars, trying to finish him off, trying to look for that trade. It is going to happen as we do see all of the sudden a lineup just looking so difficult. Who comes out on top of that trade? I mean,
just
once again,
that
it
fight
just looks
recap
like...
button. It's right there at the top. Who comes out on top of that trade?
Wow, you actually get all of that instantly. Like I was... Wait, that's wild.
Now tell me, is this increasing the amount of respect for Dota casters as you have to process all this information, or is it decreasing the respect that the game...
Not at all. Literally all you have to do is click on it and go, oh wow, yeah, Dire came out on top. They're going to have this extra 798 gold in their pocket. Then you wait a few more seconds and you go, Seb! Dude, this is so... you know the only person that I respect in all of this? Nas.
Really?
That's it. Yeah, he makes his own numbers. The dude does it all.
There's a handy website that most of these statisticians typically consult for these numbers. So you know, these are not people doing Fourier transformations whenever they're watching Dota. You know, it's all coming from computers that are just spitting out information. Don't wanna you know, minimize the amount of effort that these people are doing. These fine people are doing. All I'm saying is that you're coming from COD. You know, I don't know if they know how to use computers in COD. You know,
dude, we have to figure out all the numbers ourselves. It's real difficult. Are we gonna see a play for Roche here?
Maybe soon, as Terrorblade does have his Metamorphosis available. He's getting very, very tanky in his own right, gets the Reaver actually, so he's working his way to likely an early Satanic. And it's possible that maybe Nova are gonna look for the same play that they went for in the mid lane, where they try to get an initiation with the Mars Arena, activate Metamorphosis. If they can somehow get a kill or a tower, then maybe they can turn that into a Roche play afterwards. But neither team really takes Roche that quickly, because they don't really have medallions on the side of Dire. Sure, Phantom Assassin does have her Desolator, but both teams have really, really strong team fight, so you can't really go into the pit unless if you are confident that the enemy team is not going to come and push you there.
So the big reason that I'm asking is I'm looking at this map, and it just looks like we have Dire in a position where it's going to be really difficult for Nova to bring this back, right? So what is the one thing that, or if there are multiple ones, that Nova can actually do to start to change the tide of this?
Well, Terrorblade hasn't really shown up to any fights yet. We haven't really seen the power of this highest net worth hero quite yet. So far, it's just been...
potentially caught out.
All rich. Dumped.
Absolutely dumping my queen. And once again, it's the Axe. I mean, this Axe is just doing business time and time again.
Another initiation on the Grimstroke. He gets the Soulbind off. Meanwhile, the Enchantress is able to distract the Axe, so he can't follow up on that Soulbind. Don't know where the rest of Dire is. They're slowly filtering in here under this moonlight shadow, and actually Grimstroke survives for a little bit under the invisibility. Dust will find him, but already the axe gets the connection. Metamorphosis activated. Terrorblade really wants to brawl now. Tractor, Kazar, gonna try to get out. He's actually still alive somehow.
Look at this.
Pops off.
This is the initiation that you're talking about as well. Trying to get the damage in on the Grimstroke when we finally do see that TV come into the fight, but the axe just isn't even scared. Comes on in. Now we are going to see Dire retreat, but all in all, this is supposed to be the scary moment. This is supposed to be when Nova can pop off, and they're just not able to make too much of it. Mars now hanging out in that Roach pit. TV coming along as well. Let's see if they're actually able to convert this. This was the Roach that we were talking about just a little while ago, but we have Murata waiting here, knowing exactly what's going on. Let's see what the actual call is from Dire.
Yeah, problem is Phantom Assassin does not have a buyback. She's dead for 38 seconds, and with her not being able to come into the fight, she's the primary damage dealer on the side of Dire. So even though it wasn't a huge team fight for Nova, they were able to get the most important hero. And again, this was the name of the game, like I had said. Activate Metamorphosis, hopefully find an objective, hopefully find a pick, and then, as you suspected, it was going to be a play for Roche, and now Space on the Terrorblade has the Aegis.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, that one pick, very good call. Before that moment was the second most farmed character on the map, and after getting sent back to the Shadow Realm, they are able to get some extra work done on the map, get that Aegis. Will it be enough for them to get another big team fight?
Probably gonna wait until Metamorphosis comes back. It's gonna be another minute for that.
So they just play around the TB. They get in. They get in with the arena. TB tries to do as much damage as possible, and then Maresca just tries to combo off as well, right? How difficult is that to actually do? I mean, if one piece falls out of that cog and it's just not a cogger's play, is the TB going to be able to consistently get picks like you saw in the last fight? Because I watched that last fight, and with less Dota knowledge than you have with that beautiful beard, it just looked bad for me, right? It looked very dicey with how Axe was able to just kind of dip out, come back in, and not be very scared and get away. That beefy front line can definitely handle a lot of those combos. Do you think it is easy to find the correct pick?
If they manage to kill the Phantom Assassin, it's all about protecting her. And so as great as Axe is and as tanky as Axe is, if he's not drawing the majority of the focus to make people try to attack him, and they're just ignoring the Axe, then it doesn't really matter how tanky he is, because he can't stop, really, the Terrorblade from doing anything. Sure, he can get the taunt off for a little bit, he can activate the Blade Mail, but it's not going to be able to do that much, just because Terrorblade has so much high armor himself that the reflected damage doesn't do very much, so as far ahead as Tractor are, they still need to put a ton of emphasis on protecting the Phantom Assassin, whereas the Terrorblade on Nova, a little bit more self-sufficient. He's got 2.4k HP, meanwhile Retsu on the Phantom Assassin, he's got like almost half of that, doesn't have the Satanic either, unlike the Terrorblade, so it's a lot of VIP protection on CyberTRARTOR.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and just start reading chat to cast. There's no way Nova can't win. TV is super farmed. There's no way that CyberTRARTOR can't win. There's no way that they can't win. So, wow, actually, if I read chat, I turn into Kyle.
Radiant's Dire's middle tower is under attack.
The problem is, you read it in advance. You're supposed to read it after it happens.
Oh, man. All right, taking a look here. Big initiation onto the Axe, and they finally be able to take down the big old beef boy. It's like finally standing up to your pledge master, but he's always able to come out on top, because that's what he is.
You were in a frat, Rich?
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Is that what Pledge Master is? Is that a Greek life thing?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I want to go into that here.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Any college boys in the chat?
Are fortified. Radiant structures.
Terrorblade activates the Metamorphosis. He's attacking into the Glyph, and there's actually a repair kit available. Arrow connects as well as the Axe, but they still have to burn through this Aegis. Granted, the repair kit is doing an exceptional job at slowing down this push, but, I mean, it's really just Terrorblade sieging it. The rest of his team is just sitting back, protecting him.
I mean, it stemmed the bleeding a whole bunch. I mean, the repair kits are actually like one of the most insane anime abilities that you'll ever see. But Kunkka going to try to get in here just a little bit to stop this push, but it looks like this tower is pretty much done and dusted as the repair kit tries to keep it up, and they're able to actually get in there with that. Oh, are they actually going to be able to bring this down? Finally, they are able to do it, and now they're going to initiate on in. Big Mars combo as well.
Yeah, he gets the arena, he blocks out half of Dire from being able to do any damage to this Terrorblade, activates the Satanic. He's doing all of this on his first leg. He activates the Sunder, activates the Satanic, and he still ends up going down. He's gonna come back now as Sonic Wave is spent by the Queen of Pain, picks off the axe, and now Space, he's back to the world of the living, but he doesn't have Metamorphosis. He's not gonna have Sunder for another 15 seconds. Same thing with the Satanic. Will he be able to outrun this as Retsu does manage to get the stun with the Ink Swell from the Grimstroke, and they will be able to finish off that Terrorblade. It's just like you read in chat. There's literally no way that CyberTRARTOR can't not, yes, lose, no, win this game.
100% yes. If you say both things, you can't be wrong. Kyle, I'm on to your shenanigans, brother. But it looks like CyberTRARTOR's on to the shenanigans of Nova as well. That is the one thing that I will say. It seems like Nova doesn't really have the most dynamic strat, right? It's difficult to pull off. It's pretty easy to see. They play around it well. Yes, are they going to lose that tower? Sure, but still, they are able to finish off that TB in a trade, and now they can try to make their own pressure up on this map.
It's true. It's kind of one-dimensional. It's all on the Terrorblade, as most of these hard carry lineups tend to be. Whereas CyberTRARTOR is a little bit more well-rounded, seeing as how they have multiple ways of initiating. They can initiate with the Moonlight Shadow, they can initiate with some sort of Soulbind combination from the Grimstroke, they can initiate with the Kunkka X Torrent combo. So they have multiple ways of starting the fight. At the end of the day, it's still the Phantom Assassin dealing the majority of the damage, but at least being able to get the fight started is, they have many more options. Whereas for Nova, it's pretty much just, you gotta blink in with the Mars, you gotta get the arena off. And maybe you'll be able to use this smoke as Radiant are smoked up, looking for a fight, but not going to bring the Terrorblade with them, so they're hoping to just get a quick, clean pick.
Then
Smokes. What are we looking here for on the side of Dire?
They're probably going to chill out. They got a fair amount of work done on the map. Wasn't able to take any tier 3 towers yet, but they know that Metamorphosis is up now. And once Metamorphosis is up again for the Terrorblade, you're
just scared of that team fight, right?
Exactly. And now Space also does have a Monkey King bar completed on the Terrorblade, so that accuracy that it provides is going to make that Phantom Assassin look very, very squishy compared to even how, I mean, she was already looking kind of squishy in the fights, but now that Terrorblade has accuracy and she's going to be able to go through that blur evasion, it's going to be very, very difficult to keep this PA alive in fights.
Right. Gonna be looking to see if they can keep that PA insulated, keep it safe, keep them alive in this fight as the team fight gets scarier and scarier of Nova, as the game looked like it really did slip away from them a whole bunch earlier on. Start making a couple of plays here. Yeah, they don't have many kills, but the kills that they have had have looked relatively big.
Bit of a lull in the action as possible. Both teams are just going to wait for the next Roche. It's going to be 40 seconds until it respawns. Now, Rich, can you tell me how I know that?
Radiant's top tower is under
Because
attack.
the client tells you everything.
Yes,
which
but
I'm slowly
where
learning.
is it telling you that?
I don't know. I just press all of the F keys at the top until I see what I want to see.
Next to the minimap, you have a little picture of Roche's face. If you hover over it, for some reason my clock is super
Oh yeah,
tiny.
21 seconds.
Correct. Grimstroke, however, is dead in 0 seconds. Boat is going to connect onto the Mars, and they're doing a ton of damage to him with the Phantom Assassin, but not enough to kill the Mars yet. The magic damage will finish him off from the Mirana's Starstorm. Meanwhile, it's a 1-for-1 exchange. Metamorphosis has been popped, and Roche, it's going to be an extremely quick Roche, respawning in 5 seconds from now. We'll see if anyone on rating is going to be able to spot it out, because with Metamorphosis activated, they could take it. Dark Willow, venturing into the pit. She will indeed verify that Roche is up. But are you willing to do it without your Mars being up? That's the question.
So, I mean, what is the big risk? I mean, if they go in and do it without the Mars, how easy is it for that to just turn around, be a little bit too greedy, and get punished by their opponents?
It's pretty greedy, because Mars is a much more important factor than the Grimstroke is for Dire. So Grimstroke ended up dying on the fight on Dire, Mars ended up dying on Radiant. Grimstroke's just like a bonus. If Grimstroke's able to get his stuff off, oh, actually Retsu walks off the high ground blindly,
Come on, sprites.
and actually scares the Queen of Pain off, maybe afraid of getting bashed, and Retsu's gonna go back. And Mars is gonna respawn soon. Dire's likely gonna verify that Roche is up themselves now. And now it's just going to be a very delicate dance. There's another 80 seconds, though, without Metamorphosis, and they take this very, very quickly. Between the Kanka and the Desolator PA, who has taken the Corruption talent as well, level 20, so minus 7 Arena gets dropped, but the BKB is activated just in time by the Kanka and the Phantom Assassin. Soulblind going to connect the Terrorblade to the Dark Willow. Arrow lands on the Mars. He is going to be taking the brunt of the focus. Takes a while to kill him, but they do end up finishing him off. Meanwhile, BKB activated on the Axe as well. Spots out the Terrorblade, who still does not have meta up for another 50 seconds. He gets landed on with the Torrent, activates Satanic. Slowly getting back in the game. Bob Ruvo is going to eat the cheese. He will heal to full. And now Lorenov is basically the last core standing, even though Mars does buy back. He's going to run off, and disastrous fight for Radiant. This is what happens if you try to fight without Metamorphosis.
Absolute bloodbath coming in there. Quap does manage to get away, like you said, grab that rune and get out of dodge. And now we keep talking about how the pacing just keeps slowing down. They're trying to avoid the Metamorphosis team fight on the side of Nova. How does Dire actually go about moving now? Do they try to push up?
At
Looks like they're going to finally do it.
Yeah, they're bulletproof at this point. They've got the Aegis on Phantom Assassin. Only the cheese was spent. They actually land an arrow connection onto Enchantress. She's going to go down. And Terrorblade really does not want to have the buyback. If they get the buyback, then CyberTRARTOR may back off. The Glyph will slightly slow things. And TB will have meta up once he does buy back, but that's going to be such a hit to his current economy that they really want to avoid it if they can.
Looks like we are going to see Dire really crashing on through. So some big signs of life did come out from Nova. They might have one last chance to save this, but that consistent, easy to execute playstyle of the lineup that was put together by the Tractor, the CyberTRARTOR, looking like it might reap a victory.
You got some farm puns.
You don't know where I came from, Neil.
I mean, the mustache, I always did have some questions about it. Everyone assumed that it was pornography, but I think it was you needed something to keep the sweat off your lips. Because you're out there plowing fields, sowing seeds.
And honest living.
And honest living.
Alright. Dude, I gotta say, all of the observers, I've always appreciated you, but what you do is truly incredible.
It's true.
I can't even remember my own family members' phone numbers, and you remember all these hotkeys. It's truly insane. Just like the pressure that's being put on here by CyberTRARTOR.
That's right. Taking another tier 3 tower. They still got another 2.5 minutes left on this Aegis for the Phantom Assassin. Everyone's just standing behind her. Like I said, it's the VIP show. They get another melee Rax. Retsu's gonna blink back. Doesn't stun any of his allies, and they're gonna Moonlight Shadow get out cleanly. Because now that
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
We effed. And while you were gone, that wasn't the only thing that experienced a massive failure. We actually saw Nova taking a pretty bad beating in a team fight. It's still going on. I'm not sure if you guys can see it at all. Not one, not two. It looks like 3 deaths going to be coming out here. Nova does manage to turn around, take down the Grimstroke on the side of the track. Wait, what?
they GG'd out.
Yeah, they GG'd. I'm not sure if, can they see that?
I don't know. My internet disconnected, and I do apologize for that.